Hey there, everybody.
Hello, hello.
Welcome to another Taskade live stream, everybody. If you're out there, let us know where you're watching from in the chat, and we'll get started shortly. We're just warming up here. If you're on Instagram, hello. I can see your comments over there, so feel free to let us know where you're viewing from. YouTube, always happy to see you. Let us know where you're from. And everywhere else that we're streaming, LinkedIn, Facebook, X. Yeah, let us know. And today we have a pretty fun live stream. We have some new updates to share. But how are you doing, Narek?
Doing great. I have Instagram popped up on the side over there too, so I'm like looking at myself in two places.
Yeah, super fun,
But
right?
yeah, but I'm
We got
doing great.
Spain.
What about
Spain in
you?
the house. I'm doing great too. Spain, Wisconsin on Lake Michigan.
We got Brazil on
Awesome.
Insta.
Oh yeah, Brazil. Amazing. I've been looking forward to these every week now. Thank you guys. You're very welcome.
I didn't see
Appreciate
you at the
that.
last one. We're about to take roll call now.
Oh yeah. Well, could have been there, just not making comments. You never know. You never know. It could be lurking. All right, Manchester,
Okay.
UK. Awesome. So yeah, we have some pretty fun updates. As we do usually every other week or so. And we're going to showcase them in a bit. But if you have any questions, feel free to pop them in the chat. We are watching the chat and we'll get to them towards the end. We'll do a Q&A. So just let us know if anything pops up as we're going through this. And yeah, I'm excited to show you what's up, what's new.
Let's go.
Yeah, let's
Yeah.
go.
Sorry, I'm like adjusting my workspace a bit right here.
Okay. Did you get a haircut?
Yes, I did.
Okay, looks
Uh,
nice. Very
yeah.
nice.
Thank you. Fresh cut
Very
for a fresh
nice.
stream.
Fresh. Yeah. Narc's
Okay.
feeling very fresh. So we got some fresh updates for you guys to match
That's
our
right.
fresh vibe. So yeah, as we're going through the updates, if any questions pop up, again, throw them into the chat. We will get to them later, but we have some fun stuff to share with you. So whenever Narc is ready, I'll let him take off and I'll just be manning the chats.
Awesome. All right. So everyone can see my screen. Cool.
Yes.
So I'll just tell you right off the bat. First thing that we released are Taskade Actions, but I am going to save that and I am going to go into a whole spiel about that later. But to start with, you could see that the UI, we did a few small quality of life updates. Right now, one thing that you can see is before we used to have like create a new board, new list, and all that. We've kind of consolidated it into just these three options. And we also have a new import set up over here. So one thing that you can do is you could convert a project to task. You can convert a web page, file, docx, markdown file, CSV, spreadsheet, whatever it is, into a Taskade project. That includes YouTube URLs, and you could just copy and paste text and it will handle it for you as well. Or you could have it summarize it and then turn it into a project for you. So, for example, you get our blog article updates and you want to update that, you can just copy and paste it in here and then import it, and we'll handle all of that for you. So, just a small update right there. The other thing that we have recently updated as well is if you go to media, you can actually convert these into projects. So instead of taking these static links, so you have a URL, you have some sort of document, whatever it is, you can turn them into projects. And then that way, whenever you're giving it to your agents, it's actually dynamic knowledge. And then from the automation side, one other quick update that we've done is we've recently released a add URL to media. So what this will do is, let's say you have a YouTube video over here. So if you have a new video over here, I'm just going to plug in Taskade right here. Do at Taskade. What this will do is it will actually take the video link and then you can add it to your Workspace directly as a file, same way that you saw over there, and then turn that into a project if you want to, or just store it in. And you can also do that through an automation step here as well. And since we're already in this automation screen, one other thing that we've released, this is more for my technical peeps, is I'm going to delete this. In webhooks, we now support nested JSON. So before, if you had a webhook payload coming in, you can only kind of take the first level. Now you can actually add nested objects in there. So this really can allow for a lot more complex data to come into Taskade. And then form generator. So I'm going to leave back over here. You guys kind of saw this before. We've added some more improvements in the background, and you can now generate an automation. So create a contact form. And then I'm just going to press form right here. And then this will generate it for you with the required fields. And if you want to add any, and then if you want to add any other steps, you can do so over there. So you'll see name, email, message. And if I want to share it, boom, this is what it looks like. And yeah, those are kind of the smaller updates. And now I'm just going to dive into the one that a lot of people, including myself, have been waiting for, which are Taskade Actions. And what this means is now you can finally do things within your projects using your agents. So if I do toggle chat, I'm going to switch this to a website marketing agent. I can say stuff like, assign me SEO related tasks. And what it will do, it'll find the SEO related tasks and then assign them to me.
Wow.
Now I can do this for other things as well. I could say, assign development related tasks to me. And you'll see in a second, it assigned these 3 tasks. So this really saves you a lot of time with having to sift through all of this and then afterwards, like, choose this, assign it, or if they're spaced apart, you would have to select this once, assign it, and then select this one, assign it as well. It saves you the tedious work for that. And then I can say, move assign tasks to under, or instead of under in progress. Oh,
Holy crap.
this one is assuming that I was just talking about the
That's so
development ones.
cool.
Yeah. So, and then the other thing is I could say, set a due date 1 week apart for each task, for each task under in progress, starting from November 15. And you could see November 15, November 22nd, November 29.
Awesome.
And I'm going to switch it to a Gantt chart so you could see some of these things over here. And this happens all the time, right? You guys set up some of your deadlines, everyone is on board, your client's on board, things happen. Now we got to delay the project. Well, push it back by 2 weeks. Doing that individually is really annoying to deal with. And you'll see that it actually moved all of these. I'm going to go back to this board view over here. Before it started at November 15, as you saw over here. And now I pushed all of these back by 2 weeks. And then I could say, mark the tasks as completed. move them to under completed. And it just handled all of that for me. Now, this is still, we're testing a lot more endpoints as well, but eventually you'll be able to expand this to even more things, right? So, like formatting, you'll be able to set custom fields, you'll be able to actually set custom statuses as well. And it really opens up a whole bunch of different use cases. Another thing is that I can say add hashtag design to all design related tasks,
Wow.
and it'll actually add it to the notes. So we're opening up a lot of the stuff that you would have to do manually to this. And let's say I copy it over here and I say change hashtag design to hashtag OMG. I would add it over here as well. Still, yeah, it changed all of these over here. I think if I use a more specific prompt, like append hashtag OMG to all design related tasks. Yeah, just adding it to the notes for now. But that's also good to know. So essentially, what this allows for is some of the more tedious and complex things that you kind of have to deal with doing one by one, or let's say even round robin assigning. I've tested this out myself, where you can actually round robin tasks to your team, and it'll assign them equally. And if you want to space things out, so you kind of have these complex deadlines, and you want to push everything back 2 weeks. Right now, the way you would have to do that is I would have to open this up,
Mm,
choose this, click here, switch it back, and then press save. And doing that one by one for each task that has a deadline is really tedious. So now you would be able to actually just use an agent and have it actually do it for you.
that's so cool. It's going to save everybody a ton of time.
Yeah. And another thing that we're also doing over here is actually, let me go back to my AI agents. A lot of people requested this as well. So we're working on it right now. If I do edit agent on tools, you'll see this Taskade Actions. This comes default enabled on every agent. So you'll be able to eventually, it's probably going out either tonight or this week, where you'll be able to actually not only disable this. So if you don't want the agent to actually move around any of stuff or update it, you can turn it off. And the same with site reader and web search. Some people just wanted web search just to, actually, some people wanted not to search the web, and other people just want it enabled. So you'll be able to pick and choose now.
Okay.
So yeah, as far as Taskade actions go, that was pretty much the gist of it. Eventually, you'll be able to even move around projects, modify your folders, like literally anything that you'll be able to do within Taskade manually or through your UI. You'll be able to handle it through Taskade's actions. So yeah,
Awesome.
let me. So that was pretty much the update. Let me see if we have any questions. Let's see.
Have not seen any questions come through.
Yeah. So I see one comment on Instagram. Thanks for sharing the tips.
Yeah,
Of
thanks,
course.
Casey. Thanks for checking it out. If anyone has questions, though, let us know about anything, or if you want to see anything, happy to show you.
Yeah. If I mean, in the meantime, just to keep people more
Yeah.
entertained as well, there are a few use cases that I have in mind. So one of the things that you can do is for a social media scheduler. Let's say you have one right here. You'll actually be able to space these apart, right? So one thing that we can do is if I do create with AI, I could say something like create a content calendar for Taskade. Add links, and I'll do website link. We'll do taskade.com. And then I'm actually going to use agent mode from last week's update just to have it do it for me as well. So I was going to create an agent as well. Well, this created a task for me, but we'll just ask my agent about that. And then once it generates it, do create project, create content ideas for Taskade. And then now I've generated it over here. And do quick add to project. I'm going to choose our marketing folder. And I'm just going to choose this same one over here. I'll do add to project. And it should be added to the bottom over here. Delete. Now, one thing that I actually want to do is I can actually schedule these as individual posts as well. So if I wanted to say schedule or set due dates for content ideas one day apart from each other, starting from November, let's do 25. This is obviously not the way you would go about this. You would have your content pieces already ready to go. But essentially what it would do is it would actually schedule these for you one by one. And then afterwards, you can just adjust some of the times or dates, whatever you need to. And the idea is that now you can essentially generate a content calendar and then schedule all of these one day apart. Whereas the way you would have to do that before is I would have to click on each one of these individually, press due date, choose this, click back, click on this, press due date, press that, and then go one by one. So these sorts of use cases where you can space things apart is really helpful. And you can even specify when it should start from, right? So a lot of people they wanted relative due dates, where essentially you have your project date starting on the 25th, and you have a list of tasks that you want to be scheduled, let's say 2 days apart, 3 days apart. You can now tell it to actually do it for you through a prompt, and it will handle all of that for you as well. So yeah, just another quick use case for it.
No, that's awesome. I love it. We actually do have some questions coming through. If you're ready for that, or what do you think?
We could do questions, and then I can always do another use case as well.
All right. Well, Joy from Instagram says, "Is this solely for project management? Is this tool solely for project management?"
I'm reading the rest of it, or it's for the purpose of organizing calendar. This tool is Taskade is a AI powered project management. So you'll be able to use Taskade for not only managing and collaborating with your team, but it can also for managing and collaborating with your AI team as well. So it's used for a ton of people use it for project management. There's also a lot of people that use it for task management. We have a lot of marketing teams using it for actually content creation. And yeah, it's flexible enough that you can pretty much whatever vertical you're in, you can find a use case for it.
Makes sense. I mean, yeah, I've seen people use it for, studying or personal uses, all the way to, enterprise accounts, managing
Yeah.
multiple teams. So it's pretty much whatever you want to make it. It's very flexible, which
Yeah.
is one of my favorite things about the tool. We got a question from Aaron. I'm a lifelong TickTick user. I love the habit tracking. Does Taskade have the capacity to use it as a habit tracker?
We have recurring tasks which are close to that. So what you can do is essentially, oops, you can do create new, start blank. We have some templates over here as well. But one thing that you can just do is you can say habits. And then from here, you can list whatever habits you want to actually follow through. So if you have tasks or anything like that, let's say, I don't know, drink water. And then from here, I can set a due date and I can set it to repeat. So if you want more simplified, straightforward habit tracking, this is how I would go about it. If you need more in-depth statistics, like that sort of stuff, then it's we're probably not the best fit for that. But yeah, I've seen other people. What they do is they'll have the AI agents essentially break down stuff for them. So one use case, eventually, what you'll be able to do, and I've tested this out on our testing environments, but I know it's not live right now. A lot of people like to do brain dumps where they just basically talk about every single thing that they have to do for the day and then have AI agents actually break that down into tasks for
Yeah,
them.
just
So
chat with
now,
the AI. Yeah.
yeah, so now what you'll be able to do is essentially you'll be able to break it down into tasks. And then afterwards from there, you can ask it to schedule it within an 8-hour time frame, spacing it apart. And it'll actually be able to estimate it for you and schedule it apart. Not on your calendar, but on your Taskade calendar.
Cool. Awesome. Let's see. Is X the only platform Taskade agents can directly post to?
No, they can also post to LinkedIn as well.
All right.
So you can do that with AI agents. If I have this marketing agent, edit agent over here, tools, and then I'm just going to type LinkedIn and it can create a company update for you. And there's also the create share update and create post. These were already added because it's a marketing agent. So
Okay. Um, Unrelated, I noticed the settings buttons disappear to change background of projects. Is there a way to keep it visible or a shortcut to access?
um, I'm not too sure what she's referring to. Is she referring to the project settings over here?
Possibly. So that if she's trying to change the background on her projects and then the settings button disappears.
Yeah, that
Hmm,
might be a bug.
okay.
Yeah, or it might just be something on her end. I'm because
Hmm.
I haven't experienced that. So if you have that issue, reach out to support@taskade.com
Yeah, let
and
us know. Not
we'll help you
sure
out.
if what you're experiencing there. Also let us know if that's on the app or where you're doing that. Okay. And okay, Carter has a question. Can Taskade Actions break down tasks into subtasks? Like, for example, for your content ideas, could you have it explode one idea into three smaller ideas if one topic is too lengthy?
Asking the great question. So yes, what you can do is if I do slash command, I think we actually have a subtask. Yep, we have a
Mhm.
subtask prompt built in. So if I do subtask, it'll actually break these down into a subtask over here.
Awesome.
And then I can just insert it and you'll see it breaks it down into all of these individual tasks. So that's one way. The other way is if you have an AI agent and let's say you have specific formats or instructions that you want to do, you want it to follow, you can use custom commands. So if you see over here, I have a marketer and they have content strategy, optimize ads. I can essentially create one called subtasks and it'll handle that process for me if I have very specific ones. So create project, create task, all of those things right here.
Awesome. Let's see.
Let's see if I'm,
I think I'm seeing any other questions.
yeah. If I don't see any more questions, I'll just dive into a different use case
Okay.
that I also came up with as well.
Sounds good. Questions, keep them coming.
Let's go. Okay. So I know this has been a huge request and it's Probably, I felt very smart whenever I came up with this, but essentially, what you can do is I found the workaround for emailing to Taskade. So whether you want to create a project, whether you want to create a task, whatever it is, there's a workaround for this if you are using Gmail. Now, the way we would do this is you would go into, you first have to go to automations, and I'm going to delete these just to keep it more clean. So you would first go to automations. We're going to press create automation. We're going to start from scratch. We're going to choose add trigger, and it's going to be email received. So new email. I would connect my Gmail account over here. And then what we're going to do, you can either choose filter data or you can do branch. I'm just going to do filter data. Now, what this is going to do is we're only going to trigger this automation if these conditions match. And the data that I'm going to match is the receiver's email. And the way this works is in Gmail, you have the option to add a plus sign followed with text to your email address, and it will forward it to that. So, for example, I can do narek plus add task at taskade.com. Now, what does that mean? I am going to check and run this automation whenever I receive a new email, only if I'm sending an email to narek plus add task at taskade.com. And then from there, what I'm going to do is I can either add an AI agent in between to really break it down and format it to whatever I want, or I can just do add task. And then I can choose a specific project. Let's say it's for website development right now, and I'll put it to do. And then the content will do the email body. And then from here, we'll put it at the end. And if I have any default custom fields set up, I can do that as well. And now I have a workaround for emailing to Taskade. But not only that, you can actually trigger automations within Taskade using this as well, right? So if I really wanted to make this super complicated and like complex, I could do add to Taskade. And then from here, maybe add the email body. So only if it matches this email value, continue with this branch. And this branch, we could call this one add to project. I could call this one add task. Or actually, we'll call this one create project. Add task, and then I can add other paths as well. But in this case, it would just be like if the email subject matches project. And then in this one, if the email subject matches task. And from here, we would just do create project. We'll use the title as the email subject, or we could just say new project and then add the content here with the email body. And then this would also be add task. And we'll choose a project by default. To do content, we'll have it be the email subject. Position, we'll just add it at the end. And then the thing about branches is that you have to choose a custom condition. And then the fallback would be, actually, I could just choose this as the fallback as well. So I would just add the task directly into this project. And fallbacks are just the default. So basically, I could split it into here, and then I can add a task, and I can just do filter data and add that if the email body, email subject contains tasks, then I would run this, and that would be it. So this just opened up a whole bunch of stuff where essentially you can send your emails using Gmail. So this is already a existing setup. You can now email things to Taskade directly, and handle it with however way you want it. So if you wanted to categorize it in a certain way, you wanted to process it a certain way, you can now create that within Taskade's automations and then save the changes and then run it. But I obviously have to connect my Gmail account over here.
That's crazy.
Yeah, this took a lot of you know how much like thinking I had to do to actually come up with it?
I believe you. Yeah.
I like
That's
stumbled upon it too. I was like, I
wow.
shocked myself.
Nah, that's crazy. Narek's always coming up with the best ways to use the tool. I'll tell you that much. He's trying to be humble, but he's always doing this. So this is just a new thing he unlocked. So yeah, so never underestimate what
Yeah.
Narek can figure out with Taskade.
You can
If
do
the
a lot.
if the tool can't, yeah, if the tool can't do it now, we could probably figure it out. So that's
Exactly.
awesome. That's super cool. Yeah, cool workaround to use the aliases. Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. So there's usually a workaround, you guys. Like if we don't have the feature that's like, looking super pretty yet, there's so many different ways that you can do what you need to do with Taskade as it currently is. And just let us know. You can always email support if you're trying to figure something out. Totally open to seeing what's possible.
Yeah. And we're actually working on a bunch of we're trying to expand some of the integrations that we have. So a lot more Google Drive, Google Docs, Google Workspace related integrations. And we're working on something really cool soon. So after these calls where I set up some of the, I mean calls, live streams where I set up some of these automations, I'll be able to actually help you guys out with setting them up even more. So it won't be just you guys looking at me setting up an automation. You'll be able to use it.
Awesome.
But yeah,
Well, yeah, any questions, guys, feel free to throw them in the chat, whatever chat you're in. If you're on Instagram, I'm looking at that, YouTube, Facebook, LinkedIn, X, anywhere that you are. I'm happy to answer any questions that you have at all. We'll just do a little bit of Q&A and probably wrap up this live stream. I think we covered everything, right? Um,
yes, pretty
okay,
much.
cool. Any ETA and be able to assign a task to an agent.
You can already do that. So if I open one of these, I can just do add-ons and I do AI agent over here. But if I do bulk, I can actually just assign to this website marketing agent as well. And then it will be able to run it in bulk. So, but what do you have in mind? Because
Yeah, if you have a specific
I might have
yeah.
a different interpretation of what.
Where it will just complete it automatically without having to prompt it.
Okay. Yes, we're working on that. The So our whole goal is to kind of allow autonomy, essentially freeing you up from doing some of the more tedious things like I showed you, where moving these around and oh wait, show me that again.
I think that's what he wanted to see.
Yeah, so basically you'll be able to bulk assign tasks. If you just click and then drag to select all of them, you can do assign and then assign to an agent, and then it will bulk it. So it'll break this down. So steps to deploy, and then it'll, if you need to add it, you can add it over here. So you'll be able to do that. Obviously, my agent isn't trained to the point where I can easily just assign a task to it and have it just handle it however I want. But like this is a really easy example. What you can do is if you have, let's say if this was like something like initial outreach, if I had all of these as sales leads with their information, whatever it is, I can just click on this and then assign it to a sales agent, and then it would draft up all the emails for me in bulk. So from there, I don't have to go and one by one go draft email or something like that. So yeah. And then once it's ready, I could just choose to send it or not.
Love it. Did not realize you could do that. Yeah. This Taskade can do so many things that I certainly don't know it can do.
Yeah, we have a lot of like random Easter eggs
Yes,
like scattered throughout the product. So it's like
yeah, it's a lot of stuff, so I'm not surprised. If you don't know everything it does, nobody does. I don't think anybody
I'm almost there. I'm close.
does. Narc's the closest for sure. Can Actions handle dependencies and durations as well?
Not right now. As far as durations go, it actually does understand dates pretty well. So I showed that earlier. But like, let's say, let me do something real quick. Create a short grocery list for making a chicken parm.
Now I'm hungry.
Yeah. Like I can do this, and then afterwards, this is probably not going to be the best example of it, but we'll we'll survive. It's going to generate the agent for me as well. Actually, let's do this. Let me create it without the agent. So let's do a create a short to do list for studying for the bar exam. This is like,
It's a it's very
yeah,
personal.
personal favorite for mine. Um, yeah, let's say I break this down, right? I'm gonna do create project, and then I'm gonna choose my website marketing agent for helping me study for the bar. And I'm going to say spread this out, set due dates for these tasks across a an 8 hour interval. And a lot of this is like trial and error on prompting as well. Like I haven't tried this exactly, so I don't know how it's going to go about it or if it will run into an issue. Well, and so yeah, you can see what it did is it just actually spread these apart, right? So like starting from 4:39 p.m. to 5:39 because that's what it is right now. Took the time and then it spread them apart one by one, right? So 8 hour interval and then it reached the end. So that's why I didn't spread them apart anymore. But like one thing that you can do is you can literally plan out your day like this. I can say, okay, I have a meeting that's going to take an hour and a half starting from this time or move around in these durations. And it's able to actually handle these things for you. As far as dependencies go, we don't have built in dependency functionality, but in the future, if we do this, if we do add it, it would be part of this as well. So yeah,
Absolutely. Let the chicken parm agent cook.
facts. Cook.
All right, guys. Any other questions? Here we go. Okay. Would it help if you uploaded examples to the knowledge and then asked the agent to take the action for you?
Yes. So one thing that I usually like to do, if you have one kind of like a general purpose agent, let's say you have one for sales, right? You have your sales representative over here. You have your template processes that you have. So, oops, let me do edit agent. You can actually give it formatting in this instructions area. So if you want to format certain things in a certain way, you can tell it to format it in that way, and it will apply it for all tasks that it has to deal with. So you can even add it in your knowledge here as well. But in general, what I like to do is if I'm trying to be as specific as possible and I wanted to kind of follow instructions as well as I wanted to, then I actually give it examples over here. So if I say something like format your emails using this format. And then actually I'll say something like, oops, ah, I accidentally triggered Apple. I could say something like draft your emails using this format. And then from here you could say like speak like the 1900s and we'll be like no, dear, and then you could put like stuff like lead name. And then putting in all the other stuff in here. So once you give it examples, it will actually draft it up following this. So summary, feature, and then looking forward to seeing you. I don't know. I don't know where we're seeing this lead, what we're doing with them, but we're seeing them. So I could just say hi.
I'm outside your window looking for
Yeah. Like, how can I assist you today? And then
Yeah.
I could say like, well, yeah, I'm outside your window would be crazy.
Looking forward to seeing you. I'm looking at you right now.
Yeah, like draft an email for Narek at Taskade.com telling him about how AI can now handle tasks for him. Let's go here. So yeah, essentially what it will do is it will actually follow the format. I don't know why it's taking a while, but anyway, you can actually click away from this too. By the way, so one thing is that you can actually look at chats from here and click away from it, and it will actually still run it through in the background. But draft an initial outreach email just to make things even simpler. So I'll just say Narek and Narek at Taskade.com. Oh my god. Could you please, this is why like proper prompting goes a long way. Highlight Taskade.com. Yeah. So you could see
Oh, wow.
dear, and then it's following the format that I provided it. Looking forward to you. And then if I want to approve it, I can send it like that. But I'm not going to do that because it would just be one more email that I have to delete. So yeah, that's how I would go about it.
Awesome. All right, let's see here. I'm planning on starting a free weekly class for local business owners. I want to promote Taskade. Is there anyone I can contact regarding this specifically?
Yeah, me.
I mean, yeah, Narc probably. I mean, I don't know what you would need. Yeah, you'd have to let us know what you'd need, but you could email Narc. He said you
Yeah,
could. So Narc at Taskade.com
let's go. Yeah,
and we'll see what you need. Let us know what you need to make that happen.
yeah. I'm here to support you guys. Yeah, I'm whatever resources you need, let me know. I'll try my best to help out.
Absolutely. Um, yeah, guys, we'll probably wrap the stream up here soon unless other questions come in, but this has been awesome. We have a new newsletter dropping
Mhm.
shortly with all of these updates. That will give a little bit more details. But yeah, we've showcased Taskade Actions and some other UI, updates as well. And we looked at some use cases. So okay, Carter out in question. Can you demonstrate the difference between the different command types, plan and execute versus normal?
Okay. So command, plan and execute, basically the way they function is different. So in plan and execute, you can kind of think of it as where it adds this additional step in between before it sends it to the AI, where it basically drafts up a whole bunch of tasks for the AI to handle. So if I have an AI agent over here, I'm going to edit this agent. I'm going to go to commands. Let's say we're going to say create marketing plan, right? If I choose plan and execute, what it's going to do, update this. And you know what? Let's actually create one like this. Call it create marketing plan as well. Oops. Create marketing plan. And we'll say normal. And then I'm going to change this one to plan and execute. So the way these work fundamentally are a bit different. With create marketing plan, I'm just sending this specific prompt directly to the agent. So if I do, oops, slash create marketing plan normal, and I'm going to insert and press enter. What it's going to do is it's just going to respond and handle this prompt, right? And then while that's running in the background, I'm going to do create marketing plan, plan and execute. And what we'll actually do, oops, I meant to put plan and execute slash plan and execute. There we go. So what it will do is it will actually run through planning and executing all this. And oops, did it drop out? Or oh wait, I have to use it at the project level, I believe. Unless someone, let's see. I believe there we go. Okay, yeah. So it's at the project level only. And what this does is you can see that this is running through it. But if I do create marketing plan normal, it's just going to run through this and it's just going to create it once. And then that's it. You see how this one's done? But if I go over here, what plan and execute is actually doing is it's actually creating tasks for the AI throughout the entire process. So think of it as kind of giving like a list of tasks to an AI, or the AI giving itself a list of tasks, and then afterwards running through each one of these tasks individually, as opposed to in normal, you're just giving it one task and it just does that one time. So plan and execute becomes really powerful in the future as well. So we've kind of already set up that infrastructure as well. So you see how it's gathering feedback and handling all these tasks iteratively. So yeah, it's great for if you want these comprehensive plans and you quite literally want AI to actually plan it out and then afterwards draft up all of that for you. That's when you would use plan and execute. If you wanted to just do a one-off task in a format that you wanted to actually follow, then that's when you would just use a normal or the default. So yeah.
All right. Awesome. Which language model powers Taskade?
Right now it's OpenAI's GPT 4.0, but we're definitely open to exploring other options as well. We're not married to one. We do actually have the infrastructure in place because Taskade right now is kind of more of like a middleware in a lot of ways, where developers can actually build their own AI agents and other automations. It's more of like an agentic framework at this point for people to use. And so we have the infrastructure in place where we can actually use multiple models. But we're just trying to nail the experience down with OpenAI's GPT 4.0. And then afterwards from there, we'll just switch it up.
Yep. Yep. All right.
Yeah, if there's any more
Yeah.
questions.
Let us know if you have more questions. Otherwise, we'll probably wrap up soon here. Unfortunately, I can't stream longer than an hour on Instagram, so it'll just end
Yeah.
before an hour. So we do have to wrap up before then. But if any other questions are popping up, otherwise, we'll probably wrap this one up and we will see you next time.
Yes. And also don't forget to join our communities.
Yes, please. Facebook,
Facebook,
Discord,
Discord, Reddit,
Reddit.
Telegram. I could have sworn there was like two more. There's so many communities at this point.
Anywhere you are, we
Yeah.
are. We are with you.
Yeah. And then if you guys have any feedback, there's certain things that you want us to add as well, or you have certain use cases that you'd like to see, definitely send them over to taskade.com/feedback. I personally respond to pretty much every single post there. There's like 900 plus posts. So yeah, we really care about feedback.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Let's see. Are you ever planning to offer the ability to use open source models or add like our own models?
possibly. We haven't really gone down that path yet, but I'm pretty sure once we like start fleshing out some of those details, then we'll be able to like see like, okay, maybe we offer this or maybe we don't, or maybe even offer an API so people can plug in their own things if they want to. So we're still exploring it, but right now it's more like focusing on really nailing the UX.
Yeah, absolutely. We still got work to do on what we got.
Yeah.
So,
And the last thing about Taskade Actions is the fact that these are all using Taskade's API. So all of the things that you just saw it doing, those are going to be available through an open API for Taskade. So it's kind of like this iterative process. Whatever API endpoints we add for the product itself, those are passed into Taskade Actions, tested, and then afterwards you can use them as well. So yeah,
100%.
I think that's pretty much all that I had.
Okay. All righty. Well, thanks everybody. Thanks for joining. Thanks for joining another Taskade live stream. So we do these Thursdays at 4 p.m. And yeah, if you have any questions or need any help with anything, feel free to reach out to support@taskade.com. Or if you have feedback that you want to provide, you can go to taskade.com/feedback. Let us know any features you'd like to see or things you'd like the tool to do that you're not having success with. Let us know. Always open to hearing it. But yeah, Narek, any parting words for everybody?
Not off the top of my head, but yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, we'll say
Thanks for joining.
goodbye then, everybody.